Hi, it's you, Gemini, and welcome back to week 3 of Christmas dupes. This is a mini series where we're going to be creating some Christmas decor or Christmas gifts that are really expensive, but we're going to be duping them for a lot less. In the last 2 weeks, we had created an advent calendar, some gingerbread houses, a cat lamp, some fun candle holders. If you want to take a look at those videos, I will link them in the description below and in the cards above. So for today, though, we're going to do a little bit more challenging 2 projects. So one is going to be more so challenging only because I've never used this tool before. And the second one is going to be more challenging because it involved like physics and math, and I had to compute some things. So I'm a little nervous on doing that one. Nevertheless, we are going to try it. And so let's get into our first project. Okay, up first is the beautiful Anthropology wine holder. This one retails for $58. It is a beautiful gold at the top with a white bottom. So what my plan is to either A, build the wine holder from scratch or find one thrifted where I can re-upcycle. And then the bottom should be just the regular like ceramic tile. And then I'll just have to find the right dimensions to fit. So let's get started. I really lucked out by finding this wine holder at a local charity shop for $6.99. Next, I got a large porcelain tile with a marble pattern. We're going to cut this to just a tad bigger than the bottom of our wine holder. To cut this, we're going to be using a manual tile cutter I got a couple months ago for a previous project but never ended up using. I never used a tile cutter before, so after some practice cuts with the leftover tiles from the potting bench video, I was ready to try on the real thing. The basics of using this machine is scoring the tile a couple times and then applying pressure to snap the tile into 2. This was very, very satisfying. I think I did it. Yes! Nice! No way! Oh my god, yes, we did it! Let's go! I'm going to see if I can try to sand the edges and corners so they're not so darn sharp. Oh my god! After, we're going to remove the wicker and appliques on the original wine holder and prep it for the spray paint. For the decorations, it's going to go on our wine holder. We are going to use this garden stake I got from Dollar Tree. We're actually going to use this for both the projects today. So the stake we're going to be using for the second project, and then we're going to use these petals for this one. I'm just going to basically separate them out and put them back together. As I was taking the leaves off of the sides, this actually came off as well. So I'm going to want to reattach that. To do so, I have a soldering iron. Obviously, you don't need a soldering iron to fix this stuff. I just happened to have one because I had a previous project that I started and was curious about, and I never finished because I got really frustrated. So hopefully I'll go back to that at some point. But yeah, you can totally use like hot glue or crazy glue or E6000 or something like that to do this project. You really don't need a soldering iron. I just thought since I had one, I'll use it. And so yeah, these are pretty bendable. So you could just literally just twist this enough times and it'll break. Just like that. All right. I think I'm going to use a combination of the big petals and the small ones right here. Okay. Little updates on the soldering situation. So I tried to really give it a go again and tried to solder this together, but it really was not working out. I couldn't get the solder to melt and connect the two connections. It was melting, it just wasn't connecting. So I'm just gonna practice that technique a little bit later. I'm kind of sad because I really wanted to try this technique again and try to see if I can get better. So we're gonna go to plan B, which is hot glue. Works just as well, just as fine. I was just hoping to really try this out, but it's okay. So we keep it moving. That's process of DIY. So let's get to gluing. Alright, since our flowers are on now, it is time to spray paint. Alright, I have pure gold in my closet, so I'm just going to use that. Initially I used pure gold because that's what I had on hand, but I found it didn't give the same effect as the original, so I got this metallic bright gold instead. So we have our gold. It's a brighter and like more golden color. It's a lot more, you can't tell with this lighting, but it's a lot better than the old one we had that was a lot duller. So we are going to use our tile and put some construction adhesive and attach it together. Our wine holder was pretty easy to make and turned out pretty good. Let's see our cost breakdown. Our overall cost of our dupe was $22.22. Compared to the original Anthropologie cost of $58, we saved about $35. All right, so our second project is going to be a little bit more challenging, and this one I was kind of the most nervous about because this is the one I said that it kind of involves some physics and math and just critical thinking. So we are going to attempt to make the holiday reindeer pyramid Tealight candle holder from Crate & Barrel. This is a German-based toy. It is a beautiful, simple wood toy that spins based on the heat from the little Tealight candles at the bottom. It retails for $169, which honestly is probably worth it because it is all made from wood. It's probably all handcrafted and handmade. So I wanted to really challenge myself for this one, and I was like trying to deconstruct it in my head for the last couple weeks of trying to like, how can we create this piece and have it in our home? Because this would be so cool to have. We're gonna see if we can make this. All right, yeah, I'm ready to start this one, so let's get moving. So this one, like I said, definitely intimidates me because like it seems so simple, but also like complicated at the same time. So I gathered a bunch of like wood material from the craft store and the dollar store to make this project. So I have a bunch of dowels in different sizes. I have some beads. I think this is from the dollar store. Yeah, this is from the dollar store. Some different shapes, some of the wheels, popsicle sticks, some badges. We have these from Dollar Tree for the base. And then for the decorations, I really tried to find some reindeer or some type of like Christmas element that was all wood, but all the pieces they had were like super large. So they were not in the right size. So I think I'm just gonna end up using like this village set from, I believe I got this from Michael's or Joann's, I can't remember. Still is the neutral color, so I think it still matches the vibe of the wood tones. We also have these tea lights. There are 20 for $1 from Dollar Tree. Super good deal. And then we have a bunch of like different pliers and tinsel snips to cut the wire and stuff. And of course we're gonna need some glue. Another key material for this project is actually a fidget spinner. This is going to help spin the base and the fan as the heat rises from the tea lights. For projects that are more complicated like this, I like to draw things out and plan it out. I either plan it virtually, like on SketchUp or something, if it's a woodworking project. Still beginning and learning on that one. Or I like draw it out on paper. So this one, I just basically did all the layers on paper, and hopefully that's enough to help me plan things. Yeah. So we're going to go off that. All right, so our first steps was to drill the holes into the corners here for the tea lights to go. We basically use an 1.5-inch hole saw on a drill and drill all 4 circles and then just sanded it out. Next, I have this tree from the dollar section. I accidentally took it apart because I wanted to drill a hole all the way through the tree, and my drill bit couldn't fit through all 3 of these, so I ended up just taking it apart. It's just glued on. So yeah, I'm just going to glue it back together, but basically the dowel here is going to go into the hole down the tree, and then that's what's going to be spinning inside of. So basically what's going to happen is that we're going to put our base here. This is just a round wood plaque is what it's called. It has some decorative edges, which is cool. Middle part sticks out a little bit, and I want this kind of embedded in here. So I need to find the center of this guy. And one of the easier ways to do that is I'm going to take some piece of scrap paper, draw a circle, trace it around. So now we have our circle that's traced out. We're going to fold it in half one way, then fold it half again. You can find the middle here and poke a little hole at the center. Once you poke a hole with a pen, line it up with your current circle and mark it on your surface. So I know it's hard to see, but I marked where it is. What I'm going to do is just take a spade bit and make a circle so that enough for this little middle part to fit. So my next step is just to mark the other side. I just want to mark the center of this front side here. So we have a indented hole for this spinner to go in, and so that now the spinning portion of the fidget spinner is touching our base so that this can spin. We want to put this in the center, and I don't want to see that fidget spinner. So what we're going to do is take the beads. Oh my God, that was the wrong way. Well, the beads, what I want to do is take the beads from Dollar Tree and then just go around and cover these up underneath. But the thing is, like, this is too tall. The beads are too tall. So what I'm going to do is also prop it with just a scrap piece of wood I had, and prop this middle part up so that the whole thing is raised up. And then the beads can fit underneath to hide the fidget spinner, but also keep it free range of motion for it to still spin. So let me collect all these beads and put them in a bowl or something. I'll be right back. All right, so let's start assembling. I'm gonna put my hair up for our better thinking mode. Our middle here. But I do want to attach this to here. I'm just going to use some hot glue. The fidget spinner to the base is going to be attached via the 3 prongs. We're going to keep the middle unglued from the base. All right, we have our circle of beads, so now we're going to attach this to here. Use some hot glue. Hopefully this works. Our next step is adding our pole and tree. Admittedly, I should have drilled the hole before assembly, but nevertheless, we keep it moving. Next, we're making the fan part of it at the top. This took a lot of thinking, and this is where like math came into play somewhat. So I think I have a good plan of how to do this. So let me show you. So we have this wheel from the craft store. I made the hole a tad bigger than the one originally there so it could fit through our pole right here. So it just falls freely in there. What we're going to do is drill holes all around the wheel. We're going to have 8 in total, and that's going to fit this contraption. We have these dowels here. I took one of them and cut them 1.5 inches tall using my miter box, and then we made a slit. I had to make a jig for this to make this slit so it's safe to do. I basically just drew a hole into our scrap wood here, put our wood piece in there and kind of secure that in there. We'll use some pliers to hold it, and then take our saw and then basically saw a slit into there, maybe about 1/4 inch in. And then with some popsicle sticks, I have some 1 inch wide popsicle sticks. These are going to be the blades of our fan. And then I cut a little template that I'm going to be using to cut the rest of the fan blades. As you can see, this is like the edge already, so all I had to do was cut the shape at the bottom here. We made that. And this is going to fit into the slit we made. The tension is honestly enough for me not to need glue or anything. It's pretty secure on there, which is nice. And then that will go into the holes around our wheel here. I think it looks pretty good. So let's show you that process of how I made that. At the bottom that goes into the wheel, it's going to be carved out a little bit so it fits into the hole a little bit better and very snug. And the other side will have a slit for where the blade's going to go. Since these dowels are pretty soft, we can just whittle a little with our utility knife. I feel like I have better control with the X-Acto knife. Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah. I'm gonna kind of hammer that in there. And then we're gonna hold this. To cut the fan blades, you can use any blade you like, but I found that tinsel snips worked well for this. So I actually ended up cutting our pegs a little bit shorter to 1 inch instead of 1.5, because the 1.5 ended up being too long. So we have our blades, we have our pegs. They're going to go like this, and then this will go into the holes in here. So they're going to go like that. All right, so now those are dry fit on there. Glue them individually. So I was looking up what angle to put these blades on. It's known as the fan's pitch. So average is around 10 to 15 degrees. I'm going to go with roughly like that amount. So it's just going to be maybe like 12 degrees. I'm not going to measure it precisely, but just gonna eyeball it. It definitely didn't do these holes perfectly uniform in every single one, but you know, we tried. So our pegs are on now. So now it's time to put our blades. I think this would be the easiest way is for me to do this. pipe. Okay. So now that fan is done, let's bring our piece back to center. So the bottom still spins pretty nicely, which I like. Let's take our tree. All right, we're going to put our first piece on. So I took one of those little beads that we had earlier and made the hole a little bit bigger, just enough to be snug on this guy. So that way our fan has something to rest on. You think this will work, you guys? I hope so. I have a set of peg figurines. I drilled a hole at the bottom of one. And this is just going to be the topper decorative piece. All right. Before I put this fan on, I forgot that they actually have like these snowflake details on the edges. So I'm just going to draw those with a brown colored pencil. I should have drawn these on before I put the blades on, but I forgot. So, yeah. We're going to leave no glue on this one. Just going to be free so it can spin. Our final finishing touch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it going to work? I don't know. I'm so nervous. Ooh. Oh. So disappointing. Oh my gosh. I mean, it looks great. It looks cute. I'm sad it's not working. It does spin if I manually do it. Well, we gave it our best, guys. So she definitely looks good. I am really happy actually how it, like appearance-wise, how it came out. Of course, it's not perfect. But I do wish it worked. Like, it does spin, right? It does. But it doesn't spin with the candles, which is what I was hoping for. But I think a variety of factors played into that. One, I think it's the weight. So this bottom piece is pretty heavy. So I think that is a main part of why it's not spinning. The second part is that since these blades aren't exactly like the degrees that I wanted to be, and they're not totally even, I don't think it will spin as properly. But yeah, as you can see, there's some limitations with the spinning in the first place, like me just doing this manually. Like it should be able to like free spin like this and keep going for a little bit. But I think just because with the weight, it's just stopping it. Because nothing physically is in the way other than that. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of how this came out. Honestly, I've never done anything like this before. So A for effort. If you guys know exactly like what I did wrong other than what I mentioned, just let me know down in the comments. Maybe I'll try this again someday. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But nevertheless, like, let's see the cost breakdown of what we did. With all of our materials, our total comes out to only 20 bucks. While I didn't get it to spin with the candles like the original, we still saved about $150 with this dupe, and I'd say that's still a win. Okay, that wraps up week 3 of our Christmas dupes. So excited how these turned out. The wine holder actually turned out better than I thought it would. The German wood toy dupe thing, wow, what a journey that was. But we did it. Wow, my brain kind of hurts, not gonna lie. But hopefully you guys enjoy that. I'm having so much fun doing all these projects with you guys. Please tag me if you ever make any of these at Hi DIY Gemini and all the socials. Yeah, I'm just having so much fun. We're doing all the things. Next week, we're going to go to woodworking. I know technically today we dealt with some wood, but it's not the same, not the same. This is what Power Tools woodworking next week, and we're doing something kind of new because we love to do new things and grow and challenge ourselves, and we're doing everything because that's what the name DIY Gemini is. We're just interested in everything DIY. So yeah, I'm super excited. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that video that comes out next week. Yeah, I'm so happy. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.